Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this draw for the 2017 Concacaf Caribbean Women's Under-17 Qualifiers. We're excited to bring you this draw from Concacaf offices in Miami Beach, Florida. Featuring 19 teams from across the Caribbean, the two finalist teams and the winner of the third place match will advance to the 2018 Concacaf Women's Under-17 Championship. The tournament will be played in two stages: a qualifying group phase involving 3 groups of 4 teams and 2 groups of 3 teams, and a qualifying final phase with 2 groups of 3 teams. For the qualifying group stage, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Guyana, St. Lucia, Puerto Rico, and Trinidad and Tobago will each host one of the group stage. The winner of those groups will advance to join Haiti in the 6-team final phase. The full list of participating teams includes Anguilla, Antigua and Bermuda, Aruba, Bahamas, Barbados, Bermuda, Cuba, Curacao, Dominican Republic, Grenada, Guyana, Haiti, Jamaica, Puerto Rico, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Trinidad and Tobago, and U.S. Virgin Islands. Those teams have been ranked and divided into pots to facilitate today's draw. The ranking and seeded teams have been determined using the following guidelines. Haiti, as the host of the final round of the tournament, will be preceded in the Group G and automatically assigned to the position G1. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Guyana, St. Lucia, Puerto Rico, and Trinidad and Tobago, as host of the qualifying group stage, will be preceded. Trinidad and Tobago will be automatically assigned to Group A in the A1 position. Puerto Rico, as host of Group B, will be assigned to the B1 position. St. Lucia will host Group C and assigned to the C1 position. Guyana will host Group D and assigned to the D1 position. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines will head Group E in the E1 position. The remaining 14 countries have been ranked by CONCACAF from historical results from CONCACAF Caribbean Women's Under-17 qualifiers over the past 2 editions. Teams ranked 1 to 5 on the ranking table cannot be placed in the same group. Therefore, if there is any conflict with this guideline during the draw, the team draw will be placed in the preceding group adhering to this regulation. The top 5 teams are Haiti, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda. Groups D and E will have 3 teams. Therefore, the final 3 ranked teams in Pot 3 will be drawn into positions in Groups A, B, and C to conclude a total of 4 teams. For the draw, there will be a total of 8 pots, 3 team pots and 5 position pots. Pot 1 contains the top high-ranked teams: Jamaica, Bermuda, Cuba, Dominican Republic, and Grenada. Pot 2 contains the next 5 top-ranked teams: Antigua and Bermuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, Barbados, U.S. Virgin Islands, and Anguilla. Pot 3 is the final 3 teams: Aruba, Bahamas, and Curacao. The position pots are divided as follows. Pot A, Group A position, contain A1 for Trinidad and Tobago in the yellow sphere. The rest 3 spheres are soccer spheres, with the remaining positions with A2, A3, and A4. Pot B, Group B position, contains B1 for Puerto Rico in the yellow sphere, and soccer spheres for the 3 remaining positions B2, B3, and B4. Pot 3, Group C positions, contains C1 for St. Lucia, yellow sphere, and soccer spheres for the 3 remaining positions with C2, C3, and C4. Group D, Pot D, contains D1 for Guyana in yellow sphere, and soccer spheres for the 2 remaining positions D2 and D3. Pot E, Group E positions, contains E1 for St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the yellow sphere, and then soccer spheres for the 2 remaining positions with E2 and E3. That explained, we will proceed with the following manner. We will first open the spheres pre-draw for the seeded teams Trinidad and Tobago, A1, Puerto Rico, B1, St. Lucia, C1, Guyana, D1, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, E1 per the draw guidelines. We will then proceed to place the teams from pots 1, 2, and 3. To do so, we will begin by drawing the balls one by one from pot 1 and then correspondingly from the position pots. Remember that the rank from 1 to 5 on the ranking table cannot be placed in the same group. The first team selected from pot 1 will be assigned to group A, and its position will be determined by drawing from pot A. The second team drawn from pot 1 will be assigned to group B, and its position will be drawn from pot B. The third team selected from pot 1 will be assigned to group C, and its position will be drawn from pot C. And the fourth team selected from pot 1 will be assigned to group D, and its position will be drawn from pot D. Finally, the fifth team selected will be assigned to group E, and its position will be drawn from pot E. After the conclusion of pot 1, we will draw the remaining groups following the same procedure with pots 2 and 3. The rules and procedures fully explained. Let's proceed with the draw. We're going to start with pot A, as mentioned, to confirm Trinidad and Tobago. So we're going to pick the yellow sphere from pot A. And here it is. Trinidad and Tobago. It's A1. We're going to proceed with pot B to confirm Puerto Rico. So we're going to pick the yellow sphere, and here it is, Puerto Rico to B1. Continuing with the draw, we're going to proceed with picking the yellow sphere from pot C to confirm St. Lucia as C1 position. Now, pot D, picking the yellow sphere again to confirm Guyana in the D1 position. Finally, pot E, picking the yellow sphere to confirm St. Vincent and the Grenadines as the E1 position. That concludes with the pre-seeded teams in each one of the groups. We're going to continue with pot 1 and determine the first team that will be joining Trinidad and Tobago in group A. Grenada. Grenada will be joining Trinidad and Tobago, and now we're going to determine its position by drawing one sphere from pot A. Position A3. Now, we're going to proceed drawing another sphere from pot 1 to determine the second team in group B. Bermuda. Now, per the draw guidelines, Bermuda cannot be placed in group B, so we're going to place it in group C. Therefore, we're going to draw one of the spheres from pot C. Its position is C2. So Bermuda will be joining St. Lucia in C2 position. So we're going to continue with pot 1 to determine the second team in group B. Dominican Republic. So in order for us to know the position of Dominican Republic in group B, we're going to draw one of the spheres from pot B. Position B2. Back to pot 1, the second team who's going to be joining Group D and Guyana will be Cuba. Now, in order for us to determine its position in Group D, we're going to draw one of the spheres from pot B. Position D3. Finally, the last sphere from pot 1, who will be joining St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's Jamaica. To determine its position in Group E, we're going to draw one of the spheres from pot E. And it's going to be position E3. Now we're going to start with pot 2 to determine the third team in Group A. U.S. Virgin Islands. In order for us to determine its position, we're going to go back to pot A and draw one of the spheres. And its position A2. Now we're going to continue and going back to pot 2. So the third team joining Group B will be Anguilla. In order for us to know the position of Anguilla in Group B, we're going to proceed and draw one of the spheres from pot B. Position B3. We're going to go back now to pot 2 and draw the third team from Group C. And the team is Antigua and Bermuda. Antigua and Bermuda will be joining St. Lucia and Bermuda. And in order for us to know its position, we're going to draw one of the spheres from pot C. C3. Now we're going to continue going back to pot 2 and draw the third team from Group D. Barbados. Barbados will be joining Guyana and Cuba. And for us to confirm its position, we're going to pick the last sphere from Group D, and it is D2. Now, the final sphere from pot 2, which will determine the last team from Group E, it's St. Kitts and Nevis. And again, to confirm its position in Group E, we're going to draw the last sphere from pot E, and it's E2. Finally, pot 3. To determine the three remaining teams, sorry. So in Group A, Curacao has been drawn to Group A, and we're going to be confirming its position by picking the last sphere from pot A, A4. Going again to pot 3 to determine the final team of Group B. Bahamas. Bahamas will be joining Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and Anguilla. And to confirm its position, we're going to pick the last sphere from B, and it's B4. Finally, the last sphere from pot 3. Aruba. Aruba will be joining Group C. And to confirm its position, we're going to pick the last sphere from Group C, C4. Now to review the groups, we have in Group A, Trinidad and Tobago, U.S. Virgin Islands, Grenada, and Curacao. Group B will be Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Anguilla, and Bahamas. Group C will have St. Lucia, Bermuda, Antigua and Barbuda, and Aruba. Group D will have Guyana, Barbados, and Cuba. Finally, Group C will be St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Kitts and Nevis, and Jamaica. Thanks to everyone for watching, and we're looking forward to an exciting tournaments across the Caribbean to determine the participants in the 2018 Concacaf Women's Under-17 Championship.